Friday. Yep, here we are. This is Jamie with Jamie Barber Homes, and it's Friday. It's Aloha Friday. We're still continuing our selling your house. This week we're doing negotiating the offer. We've brought you up to the point to where you've had open houses, you've staged your home, you've had people view the home in the open house or showings, and you are now have been presented an offer. So now we need to look at what to do when we've got the offer. So one of the first things we need to do is when it comes to evaluating offers, what's good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander. One seller may be overjoyed with their offer while another may be disappointed. That means in order to figure things out, whether your offer is good, and whether you should negotiate, you need to do two things. One, think back to what your goals were and ask yourself whether this offer helps you meet them. Second, get advice from your agent. He can help you get the best deal for your specific situation, wants, and needs. So what do you, the seller, need to do before you negotiate with a home buyer? Here's the answers to the common questions. What should a seller prioritize? Before you start negotiating, you'll want to know what you're hoping to get from the buyer. Obviously, money's important, but it's not everything. There are other factors considering when crafting a counteroffer, particularly timing. So sit down with your agent and have an open discussion about your goals. Do you want more money? A faster closing period? Fewer contingencies? When you review these types of questions with your agent before you respond to an offer, that'll give you a crystal clear sense of your priorities. The negotiation process will go a whole lot smoother. Now, who has more leverage? Ready to play hardball? Well, hold up, slugger. First, you have to consider your position on the field. How much negotiating power do you really have? And the answer depends on several factors. A lot depends on your local market conditions. If you're in a buyer's market, which we're not right at the moment, meaning the supply of houses exceeds demand from the buyers, you may have to take some concessions to secure an offer. If you're in a seller's market, which is where we are right now, and homes are flying off the proverbial shelves, which they are right now, selling at or above list price, you may be able to persuade a buyer to offer more money for the house, for instance, or let go of some contingencies. Provisions that must be made for the transaction to go through. Your timetable will also impact whether you have the upper hand. If you're not in a rush to sell, you may be free to negotiate more aggressively. If you're in a time crunch because, say, you already bought your next home and don't want to pay two mortgages at a time, your hands may be tied. In any case, confer with your agent. They can help you objectively assess your position and determine the right negotiating strategy. Now, how long can this go on? Don't worry, it's going to feel like it's forever. When you make a counteroffer, the buyer can either accept the new offer, reject it, or make a new counteroffer. This volley can go back and forth, potentially end in a stalemate. Not in today's market. Unless you're the buyer, put an expiration date on your counteroffer, which you will. This can be a smart strategy for you as a seller because it puts pressure on the buyer to make a decision. It gives you the ability to move on to the next bidder if the buyer tries to stall. And again, not in today's market. It's not unusual for the first offer to be the best one, depending on market conditions, of course. And often sellers see the most interest from buyers in the first month of the home being on the market. Sometimes it's even just days being on the market. Right now, if you get a good offer right off the bat, start negotiating. You may get a better offer. On the other hand, you may not. Now, what negotiating tactics are most useful? The actual negotiation is the job of the agent who will be experienced in real estate real estate deal making. That being said, you should still strategize with your agent before they make the counteroffer for you. Here are 5 ways you can have a better deal. Avoid making emotional decisions. It's easy to get caught up in the emotional bond you formed with your home. The backyard just might be where you got married, and the cozy office could be where your small business was born. But the important thing to remember is this: you have to detach yourself from your home. This is business, nothing more. Know your bottom line. Before moving forward, figure out what you need to get from the deal at a minimum. That will give an agent a baseline when starting negotiations. Negotiate a clean offer. You want an offer with as few contingencies as possible, since contingencies give the buyer the opportunity to back out. But some contingencies, such as an appraisal and inspection, or financial contingencies, can't be waived by the home buyers who are obtaining mortgages because they're typically required by the mortgage lender in order to approve the loan. Still, if you have multiple offers to choose from, you may be able to persuade a buyer to waive certain contingencies as a random contingency or a radon contingency or termite inspection contingency. Now, also in today's market, the appraisal contingencies and inspections and financing all can be waived, all can go on the wayside, and that just puts the onus on the buyer, that he knows that he's just, he has to bridge the gap if the appraisal doesn't come through. That is in today's market, where right now the seller is king. The other thing, which is what we normally do now, is offer a home warranty, even in a seller's market. A low-cost way to make a deal more appealing to a buyer is to offer a home warranty, which we almost always do nowadays. So the plan covers the cost of repairing home appliances and systems like the air conditioner, hot water heater, if they break down within the first year. And usually you as the seller would only pay for the first year. Don't overlook the closing date. Typically, the sale process from accepting an offer to closing takes about 30 to 45 days. Sometimes it can take a little longer, but in most cases, the faster you can close, the better, especially if you need cash to buy your home. A quicker closing period has to be feasible for the buyer. However, some types of home loans can take longer to obtain. Rather than starting a bidding war, which it can happen, ask our buyers to come back with their best and final offer at a certain deadline, and then choose the one that's right for you. Remember, it's good to give and receive. At the end of the day, receiving an offer is a good thing. It means you're getting closer to a sale. But remember, you may have to give a little in the negotiations. Keep your head on your shoulders. Don't make an emotional decision, and you'll be more likely to get what you want. All right. Well, that's negotiating your deal. Next time, we'll talk about navigating the home inspections, because more than like it's part of the deals. All right. This is Jamie from Jamie Barber Homes saying, have a great weekend. And if you want to get a hold of me, in the chat is my email address. It's jamie@jamiebarberhomes.com. And you can reach me, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions, help you sell your house, help you buy your house. All right. Well, listen, you have a good weekend. It's Aloha Friday. No work till Monday, unless you're a realtor, and then it's working all weekend. All right. Well, have a great weekend. Stay cool. It's still hot here in the West. All right. Bye now.